Hi, this is Leah with Crab and Moon, and this is your weekly card reading for the week of October 8th to 14th, 2017, second week of October. So last week we used the fairy cards. This week we're going to do something a little bit different. I've pulled a spirit animal oracle card to sort of give us an overall main energy for next week that we can focus on, and hopefully we can get a bit of wisdom from our animal kingdom. And then I'll pull some traditional tarot cards to sort of go into more detail about that energy for next week. So I think overall October is going to be a pretty deep and spiritual and powerful month. There's going to be a lot of internal work and lots of things that you need to work through, but it's ultimately going to make you stronger. So the animal card that I picked for next week is the rattlesnake. And what the card says is that the experiences that you're presently going through are an initiation into fulfilling your purpose as a healer. So basically, what that's saying is that you might be going through some difficult experiences right now, or next week and in the coming weeks, but don't worry. You might have to do a little bit of digging, a little bit of spiritual work to figure out whatever conflicts you're going through. You're going to figure it out. You just need to sort of look within and do some spiritual work. Rattlesnakes, or snakes in general, are often a symbol of shedding the old skin, cycles, birth, death, renewal, also spiritual wisdom. So even if you're going through some very difficult and scary times, or you're confused, or you're dealing with a lot, what this is saying is that, as the saying goes, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So whatever you're going through right now is actually going to make you spiritually stronger. And it's going to take some work to work through all these things, to look within and sort of dig deep into the scary parts of ourselves that we sometimes don't want to face. But if you do that, you're going to learn to shed your old skin. You're going to be spiritually stronger. And that's going to lead you into the future with a renewed sense of what your purpose is. And this is saying that you're going to be a healer. So whatever wisdom you learn from the coming experiences, you're going to be able to share that with others and help heal others. And that's a very powerful thing. So while it may seem a little difficult and overwhelming right now, whatever you're working through, it's only going to make you stronger, and it's only going to make you a healer and a bringer of light and someone who's able to really make a difference. So embrace the ending of whatever you're leaving behind and do the work and get excited for the future, because you're going to be a stronger, more spiritually aware person because of it. And that's what life lessons are all about. So keeping the rattlesnake in mind, the first tarot card that I pulled up is very fitting because it's the Four of Swords. Swords are about thoughts and words and communication and messages, and the Four of Swords is a card of rest. So I think next week is kind of a time to sort of take rest that's actually doing something. So you're actually doing some work in your mind. You're figuring out some things by taking this time for yourself, by taking a step back from everyday life. It's a time of really looking within. Do some meditating, get lots of rest, do whatever it takes so that you're able to focus in on your thoughts and feelings. You might want to journal. You might want to spend lots of time alone. It's not a bad thing. You need this rest and recuperation period so that you can learn your lessons, so that you can figure out what's going on in your head, so that you can get some clarity. So this is important. It's a week of rest, but it's not a week of forgetting everything and ignoring everything. Quite the opposite. It's time to really dig deep, do some thinking, talk it out with someone that you trust, whatever it is that's going to help you get a bit of clarity, because you do have some spiritual lessons that you need to work through, and you're not going to be able to tackle those or move forward if you're too caught up in everyday life and work and money and all of those things. So take some spiritual rest. That's what this is saying. And I have a feeling that Swords energy is going to be pretty strong next week. So lots of thinking, lots of thoughts in your head, but you need to learn to control them and not let it overwhelm you. Because like the rattlesnake says, this is a growing experience. It's something to embrace. So I think I'm going to pick 3 more tarot cards that will get a little more specific about the message. And the next one is going to be another sword. I was right. The Knight of Swords. So if we look at this as a progression, the Knight of Swords is fast-paced. He's quick-witted. He's a quick thinker. He wants to charge forward and spread the word and take leaps, and he's moving fast. So this could represent someone coming into your life quickly or some news coming in quickly, but this could also be your energy. So after you achieve this, which is an important step in your process, you'll be able to do this, which is taking charge of your life. This is, to me, mental clarity. He knows what he wants. He's done the meditation, he's figured it out, and now he's ready to charge forward. This is stepping into your next adventure in life. That's what the snake is all about. Endings and beginnings. It's hard to leave things behind, but if you do the spiritual work and you sort of clarify your thoughts and your goals and what you really want, you're going to get to this exciting energy of moving forward into the next thing with gusto and enthusiasm. A word of warning about this, though, is try not to rush things, because the night energy, it's often an extreme of the energy, so it's okay once you figured out what you want to just go for it, but at the same time, don't rush things. Sort of think things through. You gotta balance the energies to make sure that you're doing the right thing, and don't, get too excited about things. You gotta think things through logically. Swords are logic as well. So let's see what else tarot cards have for us. So far, it's all very much lining up, making a lot of sense. I hope it makes sense for everyone else. Obviously, this is a general reading, so everyone's situation is going to be different. You'll know what it means for you. Whatever pops up in your mind first, you'll know what the cards are trying to tell you. So the next card for next week, second week of October, is the Five of Pentacles. So fives are often a bit tricky. They might seem a little bit negative, but it's a lesson. So this is a card of poverty. Pentacles are material things, so it's money, but it's also a sort of emotional feeling of not having what you need. You feel empty, you feel like you're a little bit left out in the cold, you don't feel like you're fulfilled or that you have everything you need. So it doesn't necessarily mean this is going to happen to you, but the cards are just trying to tell you to be aware of this energy and don't fall into this. So if you move too fast and you don't think things through, you're going to kind of be back at square one. So if you start to feel like you're really, like you don't have anything, stop. That's not a good way to be thinking. That's not a good space to be in. You need to, I think this is a bit of a reminder to be grateful for what you do have. There's going to be some difficult trials coming up, as the rattlesnake says, some spiritual growth. You might feel like you're losing something. If we're talking about endings and beginnings, it's going to be hard to let the past go. You're going to feel like you've lost everything. But don't do that. You're moving on, you're moving forward for a reason. You're going to learn to be abundant again. You have to remember what you do have. You are rich in some way. Maybe you're going through money troubles. Maybe you're moving on from a relationship, or you feel like you're losing something in your life. But remember what you still have, and remember what you're working towards. So next week, a suggestion that I would have for you is to every day sort of think of what you do have and what you're grateful for. And that's a perfect message for Thanksgiving weekend. It's Thanksgiving weekend here in Canada. So be grateful. Give thanks. Every day when you wake up, think of 1 or 2 things that you have that you're really grateful for. Even if it's something simple like you have a really great friend. Be thankful. You're not out in the dark. You're not alone. See this stained glass light in the background? There's salvation. There is something there for you. You just have to find it. Okay, so some powerful lessons. And our last card for the second week of October is another sword, the King of Swords. So again, if we look at it as a progression, you're going to go from the knight to the king. So there is going to be some progress. There's going to be some spiritual growth. You're going to sort of start to have a lot of mental clarity if you really put the work in and you really sort through your thoughts, take the rest that you need, get ready to start your new adventure. You're going to become king of your own thoughts, your own words. The King of Swords is very fair, he's very logical, he's very balanced, he's a good communicator. He doesn't rush into things like the knight does. There's the knight. He doesn't rush into things, but he sits and he thinks and he's logical and he's fair and he does what he knows is right for him. So I think next week, if you really put in the work, you take the rest, you get ready for the next phase of your life and you learn to let go of the past, you're going to go through a huge spiritual transformation, and it may be painful, but it's important, and you're going to really gain a lot of insight. And if you embrace that, you're going to have this energy. Kings are always great. It's a total... This is a guy who's learned his lessons, and he's really progressed, and he's really learned something, and now he's got a lot of great skill to share with others. So that's what you have to look forward to. If you're able to overcome the obstacles that life throws at you, and you will. So we'll check in next week and see what the cards have for us then. But I hope everyone has a great second week of October, and you remember to be grateful for what you have and embrace the challenges that life throws your way, because it only makes you stronger. Until next time, take care.